Have you ever noticed how easy it is to feel small around certain people? Not because they did anything wrong, but because people treat them like they matter more. It could be the popular kid at school, the boss at work, the one everyone listens to in a room. We learn very early who we're supposed to look up to, and no one ever questions it. In my last video, I talked about why influencing gets such a bad name, because a lot of it feels hollow, performative, and very disconnected from life. This video goes one layer deeper, because before influencers, there were celebrities, and I never really bought into it. Even when I was young, I remember thinking, why does someone get placed on a pedestal just because they could sing well, because they could dance well, or because they could play a sport? Talent is impressive, don't get me wrong, but admiration slowly turns into something more. People just don't admire them. They hand something over. Confidence, self-trust, permission. And that never made sense to me. Because if you really sit with it, if you look up to someone that much, don't you secretly want to be them? Not copy their life exactly, but feel what they feel? Freedom, validation, power, choice. And that's where this gets uncomfortable. Society tells us some people are different. Different because of money, different because of status, and different because of looks. But that difference isn't real. It exists in belief. Same brain, same nervous system, same fears, and same doubt. The only real difference is what people believe about themselves and what everyone else agrees to believe about them. That's why celebrity works. Not because they are superhuman, but because everyone else around them collectively agrees to see them larger than life. So here's the question I keep coming back to. Is being superhuman having everyone else admire you, or is it being able to admire yourself without an audience? Because it's easy to cheer for yourself when everyone else is cheering for you. The hardest thing is learning how to cheer for yourself when no one else is. And once you start to see that, authority looks very different. I was quiet growing up, not loud, not performative, not trying to convince anyone of anything. But something interesting happened. I didn't feel like I was constantly being tested and sized up. People really didn't try to shrink me, not because they thought I was intimidating. It's because I didn't see myself as smaller than anyone else. Even when someone had authority on paper, teachers, leaders, someone else everyone seemed nervous around, I didn't give that authority to them in my mind. And people feel that. You don't need to announce confidence. You don't need to dominate a room. Authority shows up in how you hold yourself and how you don't need permission. That's also why I was never afraid to walk up to someone who everyone put above themselves. Not because I was better than everyone else, but because I saw the mind for what it truly is, a story. And once you realize that, status stops feeling heavy, celebrity stops feeling unreachable, and power stops looking external. Because the moment you stop placing people above you in your mind, you take your position back. Not above anyone, but fully inside yourself. If you haven't watched the influencer video yet, watch that one next. That's how this whole conversation started.